Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Debra Eckerling, creator of the Deb Method for Goal Setting Simplified. I'm also the author of Your Goal Guide and 52 Secrets for Goal Setting and Goal Getting. You can't reach your goals on your own. You need your people. So every week I bring together some of my people to jump into a topic. And today we're talking about digital content because, my goodness, isn't that almost everything we create? And fortunately, I know some awesome people. I'm very thrilled to jump in today. You might be watching us as GoalChat Live, you might be watching the replay, or you could be listening to us as the GoalChat podcast on the Marketing Podcast Network. No matter how you found us, we're so glad you're here and excited about, well, it's sort of like I said, everything is digital content. Let's make the most of it. Let's be more productive and let's make it matter. Bam. Okay, so today I have Dr. Judith Briles, and she is the book shepherd, and we only met recently, but it's one of those people that you meet them and you're like, oh my goodness, how have I not known this person forever? So really thrilled that Jeanette brought you into my circle. Thank you. Also, Seth Goldstein, who is the one who brought me into the Marketing Podcast Network. He is a podcast, what do you call it? Podcast coach, marketer, cheerleader, and a host of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. And then Kevin Winston, who I probably know longer than both of you combined, because he is you go to any event in LA that's worth its salt. And Kevin's going to be there. And Kevin actually is the one who received the very first copy of 52 Secrets because he had me on a podcasting panel in January 28th, the day the book came out. So We've been talking about having him on for a while. So glad you're here. Excited for the conversation. And right now, all people know is that you're awesome. So let's, I'm going to let you all, elaborate. So, Seth, who are you and why are you so excited for this conversation today? And don't say, you're like, because you're Deb.
Well, I was going to say that. How'd you know? Anyhow, I'm Seth. I do digital marketing, and I am the host of Entrepreneur's Enigma, as you can see from my lower third. It magically just reappeared. Perfect. Love that. And I am a podcast coach as well. So I help people get their podcast off the ground and running. I've been doing podcasting for 15 years. So I've been through it. Let's just say that much. I made the mistakes. I fixed things. I've learned from my mistakes, all that stuff. So I'm here to help people, and I create a lot of digital content. Back to you, Deb.
Awesome. Really excited to see you, Dr. Judith.
Yes.
Welcome. Great to have you here. Who are you, and why does everybody need to know your name?
Well, I'm thrilled to be here and meet two new dudes. I'm all for that. So I am all about books, and I love to help people get their books out of them. Although when someone tells me they want to publish a book, I mentally think, should it be allowed out? Because sometimes they should not.
Yes.
With that. But I show people how to create a book they never have to apologize for. And I have a great team with cover folks and interior design people and illustrators. I have an awesome map maker in the Ukraine for fantasy and all that kind of thing. And I like to do my guidance with just publishing common sense. And as we put these books together, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, whether it's kiddo or extreme adult, we've been all over the map. And I love to show people how to market them so they don't just sit passively thinking that once you have it, they will come, because that doesn't happen, which certainly Seth with that and wins and Kevin. So it's creating the over 1 million copies. I have spoken in all 50 states and 20 countries on my books, and I'm currently working on book number 49.
Oh, wow.
I am a reluctant author. I never planned on publishing, writing a book, publishing a book, and it was only because having dinner with Art Buchwald 40 years ago, where he took all my ideas and published them, that the epiphany dropped in and said, JB, if you don't start taking your own ideas, other dudes and dudettes will steal them. That's me.
Awesome.
There you go.
And I'm so glad you're here. Well, because I am all about, if you've got something to say, get it out into the world. And it doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to commit to it, get your words out there. So, and I am blessed. I am on your podcast, and the episode is coming out this week. And you're also speaking for Women's National Book Association San Francisco chapter online on Thursday. I get to see you twice a week. Yay. Anyway, but that is like the reason we do this, right? We're here to elevate each other, share the things, and to help people get to the next level. Kevin, welcome. Great to have you here.
Awesome. Good to be here. Thanks so much. So my name's Kevin Winston. I run Digital LA, which is a entertainment tech networking organization I started more than a decade ago. What we do is we organize events to connect people in real life all around Los Angeles, from Hollywood to downtown to the West Side, and put together panels where we talk about the latest and greatest in what's affecting entertainment and tech. So that can include things about podcasting and digital marketing. And as Debra mentioned, she was on a podcasting panel that I organized earlier this year. So happy to be here and just get into the digital chat. So I do a lot of events, and I actually cover events too on my Digital LA Instagram and Twitter. For example, I was at an Emmys event last night, and then the night before I was at an event called the MacGuffin Awards, which is for prop masters at the Paramount lot. So like to cover a lot of like entertainment tech events as well as attend them. So
I was gonna ask you. I saw the Emmy posts because if you live in LA, why not embrace it and do the things, right?
Exactly, got to do the things. Well, that's why we're here.
In the community, digital. We think online, but there's just as much, if not more, community in virtual land, which we love. Yeah. So what was your dive into digital first of all, how do you define digital content other than everything? And how did you dive into it? Judith?
How did I, by default? I was out there a long time ago. I remember grabbing my own domain with just my last name and didn't realize that was the cool thing to do. I know now I have 72, but what can I say?
They proliferate like rabbits.
That's right. Well, you know what? No one told me books breed more books either, but that's what happened. So it was grabbing that and really recognizing early on. I love it that Seth said he's been podcasting for 15 years because I've been doing it for about 8. And back then there were like 800 of us. There's 5 million folks out here trying to get attention. But so it was, I knew that was a presence, that was going to become the new business card.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I knew that. And that's where I started, was just via the website. That then, I think Twitter came along, and I love the attitude of short and snappy. It's my style, and doing those things. So I wanted that. And are you getting kicked back?
I think it's coming. I think it's from Kevin. I think Kevin's getting feedback back.
Oh, is it me? Should I?
Yes. Okay. So just mute when you're not talking.
Okay.
Thank you.
So as I went into that area and then grabbed on and started building, and not even understanding that it was a good idea to have more and more people. I've always come actually, and probably ties in with both Kevin and Seth, is that getting emails was the gold. Understanding that it was the contacts and the interaction, and to be able to continue to go out. So it was by accident, I think, Deborah, and then just growing and then expanding. And I know as I was a speaker, I was, I made over $5 million speaking fees over the years. And that I had a special website just for speaking that had a carousel before people did that stuff. And that it showed me interacting with groups of 16 and 5,000, so that any meeting planner could go on and say, oh, she's versatile, she can handle this, she can do that. So I understood the power of visual very quickly, that you had to have it. So that's how I started.
And what about you, Kevin? How did you become you? Because it's honestly, as long as I've lived in LA, there's just been this Kevin Winston person flitting from event to event.
I was born in LA. Does that count?
Yes, of course it does.
Of course it does. So yeah, I started Digital LA when I was doing digital marketing at Fox before Disney acquired it. I worked at Fox Studios helping with digital marketing campaigns for movies. During that time, I was like, well, I was meeting a lot of people in the digital space. So I was like, well, why don't I organize an event where I can meet these people in real life? Because at the time, like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram were starting to become more and more popular. And I realized that you could become digitally aware of someone, but you didn't actually get a chance to meet them. And so I was like, well, instead of like, people waiting for like time to meet somebody else, I was like, I'm going to organize these monthly events for people to meet in real life, so that everything's already taken care of as far as the venue, and you can meet a lot of people, new people, and other people who you plan to meet. Just be like, oh, hey, I saw you on LinkedIn, I saw you on Instagram, I saw you on my friend's Facebook. Do you want to meet up at the next Digital LA event, which would be at various bars or restaurants around LA? So I started that. My first Digital LA event had like 10 people. And I was like, okay. And everyone just kept saying, when's the next one? When's the next one? So my next one, the next month, had 50 people. And then people kept saying, oh, this is great. I met like cool people. When's the next one? So I was like, I guess I'm doing this every month. So I organized the third month.
It sneaks up on you.
Exactly. Yeah. I organized one the third month that had 125 people at a bar in Santa Monica. So I just kind of took off from there.
They must have loved you. They must have loved you.
So I just do what people tell me to do. So, so people kept saying, when's the next? So I organized this event, created social media accounts for everything, and then started doing these like regular events every month, both in the West Side and at Hollywood bars and clubs. And then it became a thing. I started to organize panels and conferences because people were like, there's so many people at this networking event, like a couple hundred people at the Hollywood Roosevelt Pool. How can I meet people who are in podcasting? How can I meet people who are in movie marketing? So that's when I started to organize panels and then conferences, and it just kind of became a thing. So I'm often on any given night, I'm either at one of my own events that I'm organizing or at another person's event or two. So
or three.
Or three. Yeah. my actual goal that I had when I first arrived into LA and was doing events is to do 3 events every night. Every night you have time slots if you want to for 3 events. So you could do something from 6 to 8 p.m., kind of the after work time. You could do something from 8 to 10 p.m., which is usually like a screening or something like that. That's when screenings usually are. And then you have from 10 to midnight, which could be, after screening cocktails. If there's not something happening, I go to the gym, which you can still meet people there. So I kind of like view every night into these TV blocks.
Wow, I'm exhausted.
You have 3. That's what my friends say watching my feed. They're like, Kevin, I see your feed and I'm exhausted. So yeah, it's not for everybody. I just have a lot of energy. And fortunately, in Los Angeles, there's a lot of like fun events. There's fun people doing cool things. I like to connect with people in real life. And so whether that's creating events to do that or attending others' events and then posting from it to give them some promotional love, always fun to do. So yeah, that's kind of like the quick history of Digital LA. And I also wear red. So it became a thing very early on. Always wear red. So if you look on my Instagram personally, which is at Kevin Winston, you can see I'm wearing red in everything I do. It just helps to visually stand out, and it's become a branding thing, which is a whole other story.
which is
Exactly.
important.
Exactly. Right.
Which is
Which I
Look, I'm
believe
branded. I'm
I
branded.
said on the panel, I'm like, you match my book. Here's the first copy.
There you go.
So
Yep.
you were planning this for like 15
that's
years
right.
to
I wanted one of those
eventually
books.
match my book.
I
Right.
wanted one of those books.
Talk about
Opening
future
day.
casting. Awesome.
okay. Now I want to know what you wore to the
You
Emmys
can go
last
see on
night.
my
A red
see on
suit.
my Instagram. I just posted it this morning. It's a black/red shiny suit. It's in the right light. It shines red. It's a multicolored suit with a red shirt underneath. So that's what I wore.
That's awesome. Okay, Seth, how did you dive into the pool that is digital content?
I'm a former journalist. I was a newspaper journalist in the early aughts. Left that, and you could either go PR route or the marketing route. And at that point, I went the marketing route. And at that point, it was, I think, 2008, the best time to start a business. No, it wasn't. The start of the banking crisis. But so I started Goldstein Media then to get the job, essentially, and never actually went about getting the job. So, and just kind of built the business up from there. And then 2010, I decided, like, the whole time I've been interested in listening to podcasts and whatnot. I was like, well, I want to do a podcast. And the technology kind of leveled out at that point with Google Hangouts on Air and all that. So I was able to do it. I made my own Philadelphia centric podcast network for a few years there, did a bunch of shows on that. Met Jason Falls, our intrepid, executive producer over MPN back in the early teens, became good friends with him. So through all this, I just have been creating content. It just sort of became second nature to me. And so multiple different podcasts over the years. Finally settled. Entrepreneurs Enigma is going on 300 episodes in November. So it's been weekly or twice a week since 2001. So those pandemic projects. Digital Marketing Dive is the other one that has been going on since 2018 with a 2-year hiatus in the middle because I was too busy with Entrepreneurs Enigma. So let's see if Deb can keep up with all that.
Well, I think I want hello, I'm Deb. I'm a podcaster addict because
Yes.
I in the month of August doubled the number of podcasts that I do.
Yeah,
so
you're
I
insane
host this
in the best way possible.
Thank you. I host this in Taste Buds with Deb, and then I started the book proposal podcast because I was surprised that no one had one. So I started one. So in addition to goal strategy, I do book proposal strategy. And then one of our colleagues on the Marketing Podcast Network said we need to do the MPM Meta Marketing Show where we talk about the shows on the show. And we talked about you in the first episode, actually, didn't we? Yeah.
Maybe. I think so, yeah.
Is cybersecurity, is that sounding about right?
Yeah.
I don't. A lot of things fly by now.
I will put it in the chat. It's marketingpodcast.net. We've got a lot of interesting shows, but the whole point, it is like the best form of communication. Or if anybody says, Deb, what's your favorite form of networking? I say my show because I can get to know new friends better, or I reconnect with friends I haven't seen in a while, and just bring them all together. And every conversation is a little bit different. And there's so much, and I've been podcasting on and off for 10-ish years anyway. It's a great format, but now it's fun. Like, what I think the question isn't what is digital content? What isn't digital content? Books. But no, books. Because they're also virtual. Books. So is there anything that is not digital? Is there anything on earth that is not digital content?
Surely there must be something.
There has to be something. I mean, even Kevin's in-person thing is about digital. So
yeah, right? But even in person, there's a digital element to it. I mean, he's got to post the photos somewhere. And where do you post things nowadays? You post them online, which is digital. So
okay, so what do you think has been the best evolution of digital content over the last, let's call it 20 years? Because I think
the digital camera, hands down. Because you can go on an event. Actually, the camera, but the camera phone, actually, I would say, because What's the best camera to have is the one that you have on you at that point.
Yeah,
Like I have a nice camera over there that I have not touched in years because the iPhone 15 Pro that I have is fantastic and it just works. And I can take pictures at my events I do, and I'm talking on things like that. You can podcast from your phone if you dare. So.
Okay, what about you, Judith? What do you think is the best part?
I think the camera. I think the phone camera. That when I think smart tools. So, and I do when I do publishing, I have a whole series. I share my favorite tools, and this is one of them. The smartphone is one of them because you can do. For example, I can take one of my books, and like how to avoid book publishing blunders. Right, it has almost 200 tips in it. That is 200 freaking videos.
Easily.
Right? So easily. So I can just literally start it off. Once you get your rhythm, you can smash out 20 videos in 30 minutes because you're keeping them short. And then, I would go in and I'd move them to Dropbox for my VAs. I rename them. So, and I use a yellow pad because, you'll forget after a while what you have on 1, 2, and 3. And then I go up and do a write up, and then they move them to the YouTube channel. And I think that's one of the greatest. That your camera is one of your greatest tools. Not only that, it's like you're connecting. So which is what Kevin's doing all over the place. That you've got the connecting, that you can connect with someone. I prefer to call people face to face on the phone. So I have a connection. Unfortunately, you can't do that with all phones. They don't all play nice.
Okay, so Kevin, what for you has been the best digital evolution over the past whatever years?
Yeah, I would say a combination of your phone for photos, videos, plus social media. Because not only can you take these videos, but the fact you can instantly share them on social media from the event or for whatever speaks volumes. So, for example, I was covering this award show at the Paramount lot. Other people who were from press outlets had these big, elaborate cameras. I was like, I just need a little spot to like go up to people and interview them on my iPhone. Did the interview and then posted on Instagram Reels right there during the award show. During the award show, some of the people I interviewed shared it, and by the end of the award show itself, they had like a couple thousand views, so people could actually see them on the red carpet, in the spotlight, on the actual night. They don't have to wait like a day or 2 days for it to pop up somewhere in some news thing later. It was like live right there from the red carpet. So basically the video plus the social media sharing of it to add to the immediacy and for people to share it to their followers. That to me is a very big thing. And influencers use it, brands use it, digital content creators are all using it. That's kind of like becoming a standard practice now. So definitely.
There's definitely a trend here. phone.
Yeah, I think so. Kevin, I have a quickie question. We get some pushback sometimes of how many times we're posting on some of these social media channels. Do you get any of it at all?
I haven't gotten any notifications that I'm posting too much. Like for example, you don't want to post too much anyway. So I posted like 3 or 4 Instagram Reels and posts from the actual event that night. Then I waited. Then the next morning, I posted like 3 or 4 more. And the next afternoon, I posted 3 or 4 more. Yeah, if you put too much on most of the algorithms, like all
it gets overwhelmed.
Within a couple of hours, it doesn't know like what to like show. So yeah, I do like little bursts. If I have like a dozen things I want to push out, I do like a couple in the first batch and a couple more. So I basically break it up so that it has time to like percolate and be seen, rather than pushing everything all out at once. So, and then the algorithms kind of favor that. So,
awesome.
What do you do, Seth? Do you have a strategy with which you release information?
It depends. It depends on what I have to say and how pertinent it is. If it's timely, that needs to go out right away, put it out right away. If it otherwise, if the podcast comes out every Tuesday, except for today, which came out today, except for this week because it came out today because I have something to do tomorrow morning, and I like to release things kind of around the same time. So I was like, all right, it's going to come out a day early, whatever. But then like with the newsletter I put out, Marketing Gento, that goes out every Wednesday. So I have a cadence for certain things that people can expect from me, and then I backfill other stuff in as I go. So.
And what Judith, you are like the queen of, among other things, email marketing, because I get rich, I get rich emails from you. What is it? Almost every day? Every day?
Yeah. Well,
most days a week. Right?
Not Sunday.
Well, so you take a break. That's good. You take a break.
I use. I'm going to add onto my list having a scheduler. You need a scheduler to do this stuff. And so I'm going to add that to my phone. Okay, scheduler, where, Kevin, you got the phone and the social media. I'm going to add on. You got to have a scheduler. If you want to go down to Mexico and suck down Coronas, don't tell people you're down in Mexico sucking down
Unless it's your
Coronas.
brand. Unless it's your brand, and then you can.
Unless it's your brand, that's another thing. But the truck could be coming into your house. And unloading it. So I'm cautious there. I find that I am like Seth. Every Wednesday I have a full-blown newsletter that goes out. Every Tuesday I have an info blog go out. On Saturday I have another blog that's meant to be chewy or kick you in the butt and get going. And maybe it's 4 lines. Okay. So I do that. On Thursday I have a podcast that goes out.
Wow, you're busier than me.
Then on Friday and Monday are saved for if I need to do a special announcement. Like for example, one will go out this Friday because I teach how to be a bestseller. I don't word to use guarantee, but no one has ever failed. And really grabbing at least 3 solid days, number 1 across the board everywhere. And that we just did a campaign. So when we do our campaigns, I always, and this isn't always, do them Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And what I put up on my social media feeds is I will put out a warning. You're going to see extra posts from me today besides today's potato chip day or something like that.
Yum. Now I'm hungry. I'll be right back.
Or stash zucchini on your neighbor's porch day. Whatever the day is that, we have goofy posters that we have made. I have a thing that goes out, and this is randomly, but I name every month. This month, September, it's banned book month. You want to push my button, let's get talking about banned books. It makes me cuckoo. And so that's when I do it. So when I do, now this is the rhythm, and this is where your burst. I haven't used the word burst, but that's what I do when I do a campaign for a bestseller. So at 8:05 on Wednesday, bang, it goes out to all my social media channels all at once. So we have 100,000 that bang, 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 bang to support a client. And then it happens again around 11 something, and then later in the afternoon. And that's what my channels will be full of. And, it's real consistent on that.
I think the big thing too, it's amazing. I think the big thing too, though, with digital content, and you mentioned the scheduler. So of course you're answering a question before I ask it. Big shock there. It can be overwhelming. I mean, literally you can spend all of your time doing that. And when does the work get done? What are some of the things that you put in place so you feel like you run your content rather than your digital content running you?
Oh, well, I hire somebody.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. It's like you do what you're good at and you hire for the rest.
Yeah.
I do most of it myself, but I have a content calendar that I follow. I schedule things out, or recently I get up relatively early because my kids get in middle school and they do things backwards for kids that go into puberty. They wake them up earlier for some bizarre reason to go to school earlier, which they should be doing it later, but that's a whole nother topic. Oh,
Yeah.
we got a fire engine. Woo! I had
Never a dull moment in LA.
I had a smoke point on that one. Anyhow, but the idea is that, schedule your stuff out, get into a cadence, get into a rhythm. It's like with my clients with the podcast coaching, is I tell them, like, get into a schedule that is sustainable,
Absolutely.
for you. If it's not monthly, if it's not weekly, and definitely not daily, then think about doing a monthly podcast or twice a monthly podcast.
Well, you have to be careful with this once a month stuff, because that's where you become invisible, I think, real fast.
Bi-weekly, I usually say, at minimum. Yeah,
at least. Yeah, at least. But I haven't seen data on podcasting, the dropout rate. I don't want to say fail, the dropout rate. I do know it with blogging. It's extraordinary high. And people get started, they're so enthusiastic, they're excited, they're going to do it. And in 2 months, it starts going down like, because when I advise,
here's the stat.
Find your day, do it. Find your day. This is what you're going to do it. And then here's my third power tool for goals. Understand the power of repurposing.
Yes.
Oh my God. It's so fabulous.
Absolutely. Here's the stat for you. 4 million podcasts out there. Of them, 200,000 of them are active. Of them, probably around 60,000 are actually over the 30 episode mark. And you're not an established podcast technically until you're at 100. God.
Yeah. I have like 100.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Deb, you and I are. Seth.
I know. And Deb, your abnormality, which is the most amazing thing ever, because you have like hundreds of podcasts and episodes, and they're all active. I don't know how you do it. You don't sleep.
Well, GoalChat's been going for several years. The live shows started in the spring of 2020, and then I think a year or so later, I put it in podcast audio form as well. And Taste Buds with Deb's in its third year.
Already,
and then
wow.
Where does the time go? But the way I do it is, so I've got the live show Monday, Tuesday's Book Proposal podcast, Wednesday is Taste Buds with Deb, Thursday is the podcast release of GoalChat. So there's still one day left. Like,
somehow.
Yeah. No, I know what's coming on Fridays. It's a not yet. But anyway, what about you, Kevin? Before I articulate more of my goals and get myself in trouble, Kevin, what are some of your favorite digital content tools and tips?
Yeah, like everyone said, develop a cadence for whatever works for you for release of your content. It sounds like a lot of people here like weekly or bi-weekly. For Digital LA, I put out a newsletter every Friday that has like things that are happening that weekend in LA. I end up going to half or all of most of the things in them. So people have become used to expecting, like, oh, what's there to do in LA this weekend? These are not necessarily my events. They're just events that I think that are interesting to entertainment and tech people, whether it's a film festival or a food festival or some other, or Comic-Con, whatever it is. So I'm not just promoting my own events. I'm promoting just, here are some cool events in LA at the top of the newsletter. But then the next section is all my events that are coming up. So people end up opening it for either my events and or the other events, and cross to the other events as well. So so we do that every Friday. And then whenever something interesting is happening, I actually do my stuff live. I don't use a scheduler. If I just see something, interesting news thing, or someone's like, hey, can you want to?
Okay, Kevin, we're only hearing like every third word. Kevin, we're only hearing every third word out of you because you've got some crinkling in your connection. So we got what?
What?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Beep boop, beep boop.
Let me come out and come back in.
Okay, we will be here.
Okay.
Great.
Excellent.
Hey,
the joys of the live show, right?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, Seth, I would love to hear your stats again.
Yeah,
on podcasting. I know about 4 million.
There's 4 million. About of that, there's around 250,000 out there that are active. This is what I've heard from Adam Curry on, who's at the Podfather.
Okay.
And of that, there's but he actually goes by the Podfather because he kind of coined the term podcast back in 2004. And then of that, established podcasts, anything over 30 to 100 is around 60,000, 65,000 out there. Now, I always tell my clients, if you have 300 people that listen to you and are engaged and interact with your podcast, it's as good as having 1 million that don't respond to you. So, it's not quantity over quality, it's quality over quantity. And it's putting out good content and having, the core group of people that want to listen to what you have to say.
Okay.
That's really cool. So yeah, eventually Fridays will be a different podcast for me, but that's all I will say. Because why would and this is how the book proposal podcast came about. Is I started a Substack, and I said, what kind of content am I going to release? And I said, I'm going to answer frequently asked questions about book proposals. I'm going to demystify the process for experts who think they have to write the whole book and do it themselves to get it out in the world. And yes, that is an option, but it is not the only option. And I said, as long as I'm giving this information, I might as well do it on a podcast, and I've got another podcast, more content. So sometimes it's you see the niche, you see the hole in your expertise, and you jump on in. Okay, Kevin, let's see if we can hear you better.
Is my audio any better?
No.
Okay, I don't know what's happening. Sorry.
Okay, then.
I'm gonna pop
So
out
you're going to leave
again.
and come back again?
Where is Kevin?
He is out and about somewhere in LA.
I'm in Hollywood, so I'm going to get off the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
You just cancel my window.
Oh, you want to go away and come back?
Yeah, can you close my window?
Bye.
There we go.
Yeah,
You'll have
just
some
wave
editing.
when
You'll
you're
have some
ready.
editing to do, but not that big of a deal. It's so fun. That's the joy of podcasting. Is that literally, it's not NPR.
Well,
It's not NPR. It doesn't have to be NPR. It could be a little rough, and you put disclaimer at the beginning that there's some scratchiness, some cyborginess in the show, poor connections, and people know what to expect. You set expectations.
What's really cool on podcasting, I did mine for years and years, just audio, because people say, I go when I walk, when I do this is when I listen to. So I never worried about video. And then we made the decision last year that we would do both. So, and one of the things that when I have a guest on, which by the way, I'd love to have you on, and that I always send, Deb, you haven't got it from me, but I literally send out a full write-up. They see what exactly I am e-blasting out to my mailing list. We make a special poster with their picture on it. Then I write all the social media pushes that we include in. That's why I want a handle in there. So you will drop it in the stream as we start to drop them out. And I give you the master for both the audio and
I always do that
the video.
for my clients or my guests on my podcast. I give them everything because I said, if you want to have the raw content, not the raw content, but the edited version without the ads to then cut up yourself, by all means, have at it.
But we don't do it, and then we moved our ads to the front of the show. I just go ahead and thank my sponsors, and I get on so I can have really 50 minutes of slug with people.
I like that. I put one in the middle, unless it goes over 20 minutes, and I put 2. So that's my trick. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Kevin.
All right, let's
you're
try
silent
this again. Is this working better?
It's not perfect.
Okay. I was on Wi-Fi. No, I'm not on Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure what to do.
Okay, well, just give us some wisdom in short, bite-sized bits so we can hear them. Okay, so you talked about the value of the newsletter. Oh,
Yeah.
I think you're getting feedback through us talking as well as you talking.
So let's see. How about now?
That's good. Keep going. Just talk.
Okay.
Yeah, go with it while it's working.
All right. As long as it's working, I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So some tidbits which people have alluded to. Be consistent across your multiple channels. So if you're pushing something out on your newsletter, also make sure your social media drop is about the same time. And you can use your newsletter to tee up your social media, or vice versa, saying, "Hey, this is coming," so that people can be aware of it. Especially if you have a click to buy, click to pre-order. Let people know about that, because if you're in the world of pre-order, you definitely want to have a lot of pre-orders at once, rather than spread out, because that helps the algorithm for pre-orders as well. So basically, make sure everything is coordinated across all your social media, especially with calls to action. So do that. And then number 2 is make sure that your brand is consistent across your newsletter and your social media. Try to have the same Instagram or Twitter handle on everything. Have the same thing at the top of your newsletter. The colors should be consistent so people know it's the same thing. Keep your brand consistent. And then 3 would be do collabs. For example, anyone you have on your podcast, when you do a reel about them or that they're coming on, do a shared collab post and invite them to be a collaborator, which you can do on Instagram Reels or posts before the event and after the event with the recap, so that you can share audiences and more people can see what you're doing. All right, did that make sense? Okay,
Yes.
that's what I got.
See? Awesome. And that's really, the consistency thing is a big thing, but the being yourself branding thing is also, because you want to be
hat
who
tip
you
to
are.
Kevin in his red.
You want to be who you are in person and online, because when you meet people, and it used to be you would meet people in person and then you would connect online. And these days, more and more, it's you connect online and then you meet in person. And it's
and you're always shorter than you actually are, than people think. All right, wait, you're taller. Like, whoa, you're really tall. Like, you never know, because everyone knows each other from like the chest up.
Years ago, this is, I think, my first year working social media marketing world. Someone came up and gave me a great big hug. I had no idea who it was until he introduced himself to me. But because we had been connected on social media for so long, he felt like he knew me, which he did. But that, I think, is always the goal, is for people to see who you are in person and connect that.
Yeah.
And so, Judith, what do you think stands out the most for you for your brand?
Oh, well, colors are part of my brand. I'm with Kevin. He's red. I'm a purple girl. You will, and I use lime green. Those are my corporate colors. I wear them all the time. My glasses are purple. And people, in fact, people will say to me, "I don't see any purple," and I'll say, "Oh, it's there."
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I love that. Well, yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. Oh, look at Kevin. Look at Kevin.
There you go. Hey, there's where I need to get some purple sunglasses.
Red sunglasses that have a red tint on it, so people can see themselves in a red hue when they look at me at events. So.
I love that.
Well, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I think that part of the branding, and I know Kevin, before you came on, Seth was talking about my background. I am a book person. Big book. I read. I write. I've worked with over 1,000 authors getting their books out. I'm a book person. And so I love it when I can have, if we had a still, if I get back, I would be now, I want to see what Seth's reading back there. And I would get in. I remember one time I was on a show with someone and they said, "You've got so much stuff going on in your background. I can't figure out what it all is." And it's all connected with books. It is all connected.
I love
books.
it. My color is very specific. I have my blue is 003366 hexadecimal number, and my orange is FF 9933 very specific for a web designer. I know my exact hexadecimal color.
The exact color code for everything. That's awesome.
I know. I know my exact color. Like my favorite. Someone says, "What's your favorite color?" I'm like 003366, and then they're like, "What?" And also FF9933, and they're like, "What are you talking about, you weirdo?" So those are my two colors. Yeah.
I get it. I understand totally. And I'm saying to myself, I think I need to start
Your
memorizing
hex codes. Yeah.
What did you learn from being a guest on GoalChat? I need to memorize my hex codes. Thank you, Seth Goldstein.
And the LA Fire Department agrees with me.
Apparently, twice in one show. I really hope,
Hopefully
my
everything's going
building's okay, right? And I've always been, blue, Deb Method blue.
Yeah.
Most of my things have blue. And then my first book came out, Your Goal Guide. I did not have any input into the cover, but these are the colors of my childhood bedroom.
Aww.
They were orange. There's no orange and yellow. Give any regular person a headache, but there's no way on earth my publisher could have known that when they picked these colors for my book. And then the new ones got Kevin Red. So
Kevin Red.
Kevin Red. See, that's the hex code for my
Pantone.
book. Yeah,
The new
it's
Pantone
Kevin
color.
Red.
Kevin Red.
That was,
Oh no! This
Talking to a
this year's Pantone is freaking boring. This year's Pantone color of the year is a boring beigey.
If you want to stand out, you stay away from beige. Yeah, and if you're just listening, Kevin, who still crackly is giving the thumbs down. See, we can participate without bad connection stuff.
Well, I still want to know what Kevin thought about the Emmys. I would like to have some input here. So
I'm a big fan of the studio, so I'm very glad that the studio won so many Emmys as it did. I was a little bit disappointed that the White Lotus didn't win more because I'm a huge White Lotus fan and they came up with 0. But super excited for the studio. It's super funny. If you haven't seen it on Apple TV, go watch it. If you don't have Apple TV, if you have renewed your new iPhone to get the new iPhone, it'll come with 3 months free of Apple TV, so you can get it that way.
See, I was a Pit, so if you haven't seen the Pit,
Pit did well.
Oh, Hacks is good too.
Love
and
Hacks.
Hacks, she got a FCC violation for the F word. She said F ice.
She did.
F ice with the full version on their TV.
Oh, she did. Oh, that's right. I read about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she took the. She said, I'll take the FCC violation for that. Thank you very much.
I'm trying to figure out a way to rein this back into digital content, but just to say that all content.
It's all content.
Digital content. Yes, all you have to do.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another tip. If you all are not using AM Institute, are you familiar with it? Apple Mary Institute, created by the American Marketing Association. And it has a super cool little goodie, no charge. Although you have to be careful you don't hit, an advertiser and all of a sudden you're down the hemorrhoid thing. But no, you come out, AM Institute, headline advertiser. Here's what it does. It emotionally grades or intellectually grades or spiritually grades or emphatically grades what line you're putting in for like a headline. So we're talking about social media content. I'm going to help you get back here. So we have this digital content. We're putting out hot new podcasts with the topic, whatever you come up with your subject line, and put that in and see if it pulls at least a 30. 30 is your magic number. A good copywriter will stay with a 30 or above. And it's going to be an adjective usually that will jerk it up higher. So,
it's a headline analyzer.
Yes, but it's a freebie and it's created by the pros.
Nice.
Ooh, love that. AM Institute, and I think it was AppleMary.com/headline.
Yeah,
is where they get the headline one.
Yeah, and just click on headline analyzer, and you can put up to they'll analyze up to 20 words. and instantly it comes up and it tells you where the strength of the phrase
Well,
is.
if
So,
you're curious, digital content with Dr. Judith Briles, Seth Goldstein, and Kevin Winston scored 840%.
Okay.
So
there you
you're
go.
above
So,
average.
so we would
Ish.
be, yeah, we would be a keeper. We would be considered a
that.
keeper.
Well, as you are a
Absolutely.
keeper anyway, I would love for, this is the point in which I would ask you all to gift a goal to the audience.
Ooh.
So what is something that they could do today, tomorrow, immediately to up their digital content game? We're going to keep AM Institute as like a bonus extra goal to use for your headlines. But Judith, what goals do you want to gift
Yes.
beyond that?
Okay, here's what I'm going to gift.
Okay.
You can't get going and be successful anyway unless you got some kind. Let's create a plan. So I have on my website, grab the ultimate book marketing success plan. So just alternate the words, and it's there, and it's a freebie. It's on the homepage. Go get it.
Love it.
Okay, so go to your website for the book marketing success plan.
Go to thebookshepherd.com. It's, this is
Right.
for you, Seth. Seth, this is for you. It's an orange block.
Ooh, look for the orange block, the FF9933 block. Yes, absolutely.
And
Love it.
we all need some kind of a plan, and going. Plan for when you get your blogs out, plan for when you do your newsletters, plan for when you do your social burst. You need a plan and putting it together. And you also, I think it's also important to say that works for me may not work for you.
Everyone's
and works
different.
For Seth,
Yeah.
Everyone's different. It's like what Kevin does when he's going with his scheduling from 6 to 8, 8 to 10. Kevin, darling, I get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, Kevin.
Will not work for me.
That schedule. Wow. Yeah, exactly.
So, Kevin, what goal are you gifting?
My goal is to, relates to what I talked about earlier, was just make sure that your brand for your Instagram, your newsletter, your Twitter, we haven't even talked about TikTok. Make sure your brand for all of our social media and your newsletter is consistent and is updated. Often people have this thing on there that when they first joined this platform like a decade ago, and they have it changes to represent their new jobs, their new interests, conference you happen to go into. So don't treat that as static. Update your profile picture and your bio according to like what's happening in the world, and keep that fresh. Like basically take a minute to go back and look at what you typed in probably 10 years ago and see if that still applies. If there's anything else you want to add, whether it's a new book, a new speaking engagement, and just drop that into the bio too.
Okay, so don't be static like Kevin is in his audio. But the basic goal is make sure that your brands for all of your entities matched, your newsletter, your social media, all of your things, that it's updated, that your content, that your bios are updated at all times, because you want to always be putting your best digital footprint forward.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to add on to Kevin that
Okay.
if you're going to use a picture, please make it look like you.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like Kevin with his red glasses, I would know who it is. But I mean, some of these people who have pictures that are 30 years old, I mean, get over it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't do that anymore. Exactly.
Okay, Seth, goal?
My goal is just to get, if you're interested in podcasting, just get started. If you need help with that, I'm going to give you the freebie. I have a freebie as well.
Good.
You go to podcastmastery.co and you can get my podcasting 101 ebook. And it's a 25 pages of tips and tricks. I mean, yeah, you give me your email address, so it's not exactly free, but it's free. You can unsubscribe if you don't want to hear from me, but you want to hear from it.
Why wouldn't someone want to hear from you?
There you go, exactly. But it's podcastmastery.co.
Yeah, it'll be, and if you go, I am at the Deb Method everywhere.
Yes.
So if you go to the debmethod.com/blog, you will get the recap, you will get the goals, and you will get, I'm going to ask everybody, even though you kind of answered it, where's the best place to find you? For Judith, it is, well, Judith, you can tell people, even though you just said it, it is
thebookshepherd.com. And if you want to know about my books, it would be judithbrilesbooks.com.
Ooh, fancy.
excellent.
One of the
And
72 domain names.
And
yes, exactly.
Nice callback. Yeah.
and Seth, where's the best
Yeah.
place to find you?
Easiest place to go is social.sethgoldstein.me. All my links are there. Social.sethgoldstein.me. Deb's going to type it as fast as she humanly can possibly do, and I'll kill time for her. But that's literally all my links are there, and you can find me online because I'm literally everywhere. So
I was just using Entrepreneur Enigma, but that one works too. I will put this one in the recap. And
Yeah.
Kevin, where's the best place for people to find you?
I'm at Digital LA on
Okay, and now we can hear
nothing. At Digital LA.
you're at Digital LA everywhere.
At Kevin Winston everywhere.
and at Kevin Winston. I got that. So at Digital LA everywhere and at Kevin Winston. And he'll come back with a signal booster next time.
Well, again, the beauty of the live video, and this was, I used to edit between the live show and the podcast. And then one day I was on someone's podcast and they introduced and said, you might be watching the live show, you might be listening to us. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So this way, and if you're paying attention, we totally appreciate you navigating through Kevin's static with us. But that is the beauty of a live show. It is the beauty of a podcast. And it is why of the shows that I do, this one I do not edit. Because you can't edit a good conversation.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of bringing people together to share their wisdom and help you move forward in your goals. And what a fun conversation. Okay, Kevin, let's see if we can get a final thought out of you with us hearing you. What do you think? Final thought?
Can we just do a screenshot of us smiling to share on social media with a link to this recording? I like the post recap content. Let's go. Everyone smile. And can someone do a 3, 2, 1 countdown to make sure we're smiling? We don't have our mouths open.
3, 2, 1. Smile. That was cute.
Okay, I got one. Did you get one too?
I got one too.
And you'll share it with us, right?
Yes. So the final thought, this is like interpretive dance, interpretive Kevin. In any event, you want to take photos and you want to share it out and tag the people so you continue the engagement, you continue the conversation. Oh, good. I speak Kevin. Yay. Amazing. Seth, what final thought do you want to leave us with?
Just get started with anything you want to do online and content-wise. Just get started. You'll figure things out as you go. Okay,
that's a good, and especially as it pertains to digital, right?
Yeah.
Because and this is what I find is if you've been thinking about doing something for long enough,
you should just
either do it already or stop talking about it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, Judith, final thought to you.
Don't do well what you have no business doing.
Ooh.
Get help.
That's good. Get help.
Outsource. Right. And that goes along with you never say no, your yeses are worthless. Those are 2 mainstays of mine.
Ooh. I do a different version of the no thing. You know, when you say no to something that isn't a fit, you say yes to yourself. But I like when you say yes to everything, your no's are worthless. That's good too.
Yeah, bravo.
Such great food for thought. And yes, we're doing a conversation about digital content. We have blurbs, we have static, but we have good, authentic conversation. And I think when it comes to digital content, really that's what matters, is putting yourself, your knowledge out there in all purposes for helping other people do more, do better, and get themselves out there. Thank you again, Judith Briles, Seth Goldstein,
Thank
and
you.
Kevin Winston for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. You can watch me live every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, and also subscribe to GoalChat, Taste Buds with Deb, and the Book Proposal Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and also Entrepreneurs Enigma, and yours, Judith, is Author You?
Author You, Your Guide to Book Publishing.
Yes. So subscribe to all of the things.
And go check out Kevin's suit on his Instagram. The red black suit is awesome. It's on point.
I think, can you show it before we leave? I think, Deb, go find it.
No, it's on Kevin Winston on Instagram.
I will put it in the recap, the link, so everybody sees the gorgeous red Emmy suit.
Yes, it's awesome. It's on point, buddy.
Well, be your branding, be your best digital set digital content goals. Go out there, go for it, because we know you can do it. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome.